How's it going everybody, my name's Gotcake and today we're going to be taking a look at a rather unique puzzle game called Doubles Hard. Yes, that is doubles with an S on the end, but don't ask me why, because I don't know. Before we start, why not click this and this to be a legend and support the channel. So beginning first with the main menu, you can sort of get a feel for the game right away. We have a music loop of about 30 seconds which gets irritating after a short time. Very basic 3D graphics which are a bit glitchy and low resolution buttons. The game has no options menu, instead there are two buttons at the bottom of the main menu. Firstly an audio on off button which mutes all game audio, but there's no in-game music and very few sound effects. The second button turns rumble on and off, but I don't actually think this works unless my Pro controller is broken or it doesn't actually have rumble. You can view the game's controls by pressing the minus key and they're relatively straightforward. You move by either using the D-pad or the analog stick, and there are only really three other buttons that you need to know, which I'll get onto shortly. When it comes to playing the game, we've got three options. Continue, which will resume a game from whichever level you last played. New game, which begins a new game, obviously, from the first level. And level select, which allows you to play any level in the game at any time, basically rendering the two previous buttons null and void. So the game's essentially a tribute to games like Boulder Dash, but adds an extra dimension. The quality of the visuals make me wonder whether they were a design choice to make the game feel more retro, or whether this was the best that they could do. The play area is basically a 7x7 cube, with various types of blocks occupying each square of it. You control this blue ball with eyes, and to begin with you can either move vertically or horizontally. Your objective is simple: collect the red diamonds and open the exit to the level within the allocated time limit. If you run out of time, you'll explode. Diamonds are worth different amounts in each level, and increase in value after you earn enough to exit a level, allowing you to earn higher scores, which are displayed below each level on the level select screen. Level exits are indicated by the transparent cube, which begins to sparkle once you've obtained enough diamonds. So begin with, you learn how to rotate the cube and move across its surfaces, and while the first few levels keep things simple by limiting you to the top level of the cube, when you hit level 4 and beyond you're allowed to move in any direction. Holding the change player control button, which is bound to L2, will allow you to move back and forth between the foreground and the background without rotating the cube. This is where having good spatial awareness and memory comes into play, as often you won't have sight of your blue blob and will have to picture its movements beneath the cube's surface. R2 is the shoot button, which allows you to destroy grass or diamond blocks next to you by holding R2 and pushing the D-pad or the analog stick towards them. Whilst this button is called shoot, it doesn't actually have sound or visual effects, and I didn't even know it existed until I properly checked out the game's controls. The third and final button you'll need to be aware of is the level reset button, X. This will instantly reset the level if you make a mistake, or if like me you get yourself trapped. So levels in the game slowly introduce additional mechanics. You'll begin with simple level layouts containing only boulders and diamonds. These objects won't roll off the edge of grass blocks, but will roll off brick blocks or each other, often smashing down on your head, causing you to explode. Next you'll encounter moving blocks, which quickly become the bane of your life, as they move at a fast pace and are incredibly unpredictable. In this level, for example, you're chased by one of the blocks, and have to get to the boulder on the right side fast enough to drop it on the block and destroy it. This is easier said than done though, as the movement controls in the game can be pretty unresponsive, and even when you manage to do this, you'll then have to try and get down out the way this other boulder, which is also a joke. The red-faced version of the moving blocks will create a bunch of diamonds when they explode, and this is required in several levels which don't contain any diamonds. In this level I managed to destroy the blocks to make the diamonds, but then there didn't appear to be any exit to the level, and I ended up putting myself out my misery by stoving my own skull in with a diamond. There are also bombs in the game, and here they've gone for that vintage bomb look, and these have a 3x3 blast radius after they fall and come into contact with another block. There's lava, which slowly spreads from block to block, eating its way through grass blocks and destroying any bombs and boxes that it touches. It doesn't actually hurt you, but ends up creating impassable barriers in some of the levels, such as this. Lava also can't pass through stone, rock, or these iridescent blocks, which I still haven't worked out a purpose for. The final type of block are copper blocks, or they might just be shiny dirt, and these blocks allow boulders to pass through them but nothing else. So all these different types of blocks and mechanics are put together in levels in various ways, presenting different types of challenges to overcome. But there rarely seems to be any real sort of structure or logic to the puzzles. Often you'll be left relying on luck to complete a level, especially when it comes to levels featuring the moving blocks. Like in this level where you need to release the blocks, duck into the tunnel and then drop a boulder onto them. If you miss with the boulder, you're basically screwed. And even if you do manage to blow up a couple of them, you likely won't get them all. There's also this level where you have to move quickly to beat the lava and drop the bombs on the blocks below, but there's a good chance that you'll miss some, and even if you get them all, the lava just ends up blocking you in. So now it's time to rate Doubles hard. Now I usually give a game rating from 1 to 5 stars, with 5 being the highest, and this rating's based on my own personal opinions of the quality of gameplay and what it has to offer in terms of value to money for potential buyers. For Doubles hard, I'd rate the game 2 out of 5 stars. I liked the new and unique spin they put on an old classic, and the game's generally pretty challenging, but it's often incredibly unpredictable, and many of the game's 46 levels don't seem to have any order or logic to them. In my opinion, the game could have done without the in-game timer, due to its controls being somewhat unresponsive, and instead they could have added a time attack mode. Lastly, I'll say that the game really lacks polish in terms of both graphics and audio, and that if they could fix up all of the above issues, this really could be a great puzzle game, but in its current state, it's nowhere near as enjoyable as it could be. You can get the game from the UK Switch eStore, usually for £5.39, but currently with 25% off for £4.4p. You can also get the game on the US eStore for $5.99. And according to an online article published on a Polish website called FX Mag, the game's also potentially coming to Steam at some point in the future. And that's it for this review of Doubles Hard. If you enjoyed it, remember to smash that like button, and please do subscribe to the channel for future Switch indie game reviews. For now though, thanks once again for watching, and until next time, game on.